Neurodivergency is nonsense. You're not neurodivergent, you're normal, you're healthy. People like us are shunned by society, told we're crazy, pumped with meds, locked away, just because we don't fit a mold that society likes to put people in. We were born with the gift of seeing life the way it's supposed to be.
When you neurodivergent, you got an extremely strong sense of intuition. Because intuition is not just spiritual, it's also logical. It's both at the same time.
Have you ever wondered where autism comes from and why are so many people getting autism, or why are so many people considered neurodivergent? We are always put in environments and our body has to adapt to those environments.
Are neurodivergent people seen as a threat to the system? Let's talk about it.
Welcome back to AF9 Deep Truth Files. My name is Ancient. Let's watch this video and raise our vibrations.
Y'all calling it neurodivergent and neurotypical. Whole time it's the programmable and the non-programmable. Neurodivergence cannot be programmed, which is why we are not typical. We remained unique individuals, while the neurotypical have been programmed by society to do, believe, and be exactly what society wants them to be. While we
see through the cracks in this society that they present to us. We see, we act, we move different. They know that. Our minds are like roller coasters. We're up, down, and doing all of these freestyles for what reason we don't know. From ever since we were young, we've always known, we've always questioned stuff, but sometimes we would have conformed just to fit in. But all the time you're fitting in, you know that you should be standing out. Something, some inkling inside of you. And some of us we've just never conformed. It won't work for us. We've always questioned everything that's been given to us. Anything and everything, we question it, we act on it. We don't just take it for what it is just because maybe, I don't know, you speak so well, you dress so nice. You were given some fancy acronym in front of your name. You're a doctor or something, and I'm supposed to just believe in you. You're the expert. Why? Why can't I question what you've done? Why can't I read from the book that you've read from to get the knowledge so I can question? What's the method? Can it be repeated? Why is it so guarded? That same thing. Why? Why are there so many questions? Why? Why are you so insisting for me to fall in line to listen to everything that you say and do? Why is your way more better than mine when I'm not given opportunity to even try mine? Oh, you've tried it before, but you've tried it with your mindset. You never tried it with my mindset.
On the other hand, are not and cannot be programmed. So we remain weirdos and unique individuals, but we are not disabled. It's not a disability. Just because we have not been able to become part of the sheep. We are just unique as the way God wanted us to be. So I do not identify as neurodivergent, but I see the similarities that you guys describe within myself, and it's because of the simple fact that I have not been able to be programmed.
Has anyone else noticed the correlation between people waking up spiritually and also being late diagnosed neurodivergent? I've really been sitting with this for a couple of days, and I don't believe it's a coincidence. If you've been feeling different your whole life and then suddenly everything is starting to click, keep watching this. So a spiritual awakening makes you start questioning everything, right? Why things never felt right, why you struggle to fit in, why you've always been in survival mode. At the same time, many people who are getting late diagnosed are starting to come to the realization that they were never broken. They're just different. It's like pulling back a veil and seeing that so many of the things that you were told were flaws were actually just the way that your brain and your...
And you notice it, there's always a fancy name, a fancy term given to people who go to a spiritual awakening, going to this consciousness, this awareness, neurodivergent. They've always known. These people who are pulling these strings, they've always known about this.
It was designed to be. You realize how much you've masked and adapted and tried to force yourself to fit into a world that's just not designed for you. Both awakenings, in my opinion, reveal the same truth, which is basically that the system was not built for us. Neurodivergent people are expected to operate in a way that does not come naturally to them, forcing structure, suppressing creativity, ignoring your sensory needs. And spiritually awakened people start noticing how society is designed to keep them asleep, trapped in cycles of burnout, people pleasing, survival.
If you've been following the videos I've dropped, I've talked about this on many occasions about people pleasing. It's a very, very bad sin to follow. You have to ask yourself at times, are you authentic or are you a people pleaser? You can't be an authentic people pleaser. It doesn't work, because in order to be authentic, you have to be yourself at all given time. You don't have to tone it down, nothing. As long as you're not bringing harm to anyone, what's wrong with being authentic? People pleasing, you have to always conform. You're following these structures, all of these things that's been put in place just to what? To survive here. And then we're already paying for the subscription to live on earth, because everything you do you got to pay for. So we signed up to that subscription. But then when you want to cancel your subscription, now they've got a big problem.
Both awakenings come to the same realization. You were conditioned to believe that something was wrong with you, when the reality is you are just different. And another thing I realized too is that neurodivergent people get sensory overloads the same way that spiritual people get energetic overloads. Picking up on people's vibe, needing more alone time, feeling drained in chaotic environments. I really feel like this is why so many neurodivergent people are deeply intuitive and spiritually gifted. And no shade to anyone who isn't neurodivergent, but I just don't believe that they possess that gift. Our heightened awareness, it extends beyond the physical. Like if you've always felt that you absorb people's emotions and you feel things very deeply, you're very sensitive to your environment, that you might be experiencing both. Before awakening, you probably overgave, overworked, overextended yourself just to be good enough. Stayed in friendships, jobs, routines, and just so many things that drained your energy just because you felt like that's what you were supposed to do. But once you wake up spiritually and you start setting boundaries, you stop forcing yourself to be in spaces that don't align with you. You can no longer tolerate environments that don't support your natural rhythm. And both awakenings lead to the same conclusion. You were never broken, you were just in the wrong environment. You start unlearning the guilt and the shame that was placed on you for being different, and you begin to reconnect with your true self, your natural creativity, your intuition, just your way.
For many of us, we were creative like at very young age, up until we went to a more structured environment, such as like high school, where creativity is shunned. In high school, you're not there at the most creative point in your life. You're not there to like develop your skills. You're there to learn their skills and what they want you to learn. Take these classes. You have to be. And then when you're different and you stand out, you're not the cool kid. The only time they look at you is maybe if you stand out, if you're an athlete or something, or really smart, really proper book nerd, but you don't really get looked at. They call you weird. They try to bully, but I'm not really one to get bullied still, but they will try it.
Of existing in the world. And the deeper you awaken and the more you unmask, you start to choose yourself, even if it means completely letting go of the old version of you that was just built for survival. So if that resonates with you, you're not crazy. You're waking up. So yeah, that's what's been on my brain. But y'all let me know what you think.
The more I study neurotypical and neurodivergent behavior, the more I come to the conclusion that neurotypical people just fall in line to society better. Like with neurotypical behavior is like monkey see, monkey do, and with neurodivergent behavior it's more like monkey see, monkey question, monkey research, monkey analyze, then maybe monkey do. I hope that makes sense. This is the best way I could put it right now. Like neurotypical people are more easily socially programmed than neurodivergent people are. That's why neurodivergent people struggle with social norms and social hierarchies and things of that nature. But with neurotypical people,
Always been like that. You've always been like that. You've always had a problem with their type of structured authority. It doesn't mean that you want to go out there and hurt and harm anyone. No, far from it. It's just the structure. Something inside of you is saying something is wrong. And anytime you try to bring it up to people, the neurotypicals, the fallings, the sheeps, they give you the fluoride stare. They look at you like, are you all right? And you're looking at them like, bro, you're asking me if I'm all right or you all right. Is anything right with you?
it's like that's just their first instinct to just fall in line with it, what everyone else is doing. Don't question anything, just do what everyone else is doing. And I find that very fascinating because we have to do that because we're a survival based species and you have to do that, fall in line with the collective to survive. But at the same time, the only way for a collective to evolve is for there to be outstanding individuals. There has to be those individuals that set themselves apart and just isolate themselves away from society and social norms.
Those individuals, the authentics, these people, you have to be authentic. And you know, a specific person that society has always showed us in storybooks that's always lived far away from society and they're demonized is the witches. No, I'm not saying how they portray people that live far away from society, don't conform to your norms. They give them in the stories. They are witches and weird people, ogres. They tell you what their personality is like. They are telling you what they always know what everyone is doing, but you never know what they're doing.
To progress society, because all the greatest minds of our time, they usually was always by themselves doing their own thing. They didn't just do what society told them. They didn't align themselves or assimilate to society and social norms and social hierarchy. They just went off and did their own thing. And because of individuals like that, we've progressed as society, but society itself looks at those type of people as bad. It's weird, bro.
Yes, you're bad for their society.
People whose perception operates at higher resolution tend to carry more open bandwidth. Think neurodivergent people. If you're autistic or ADHD, you're a walking battery, essentially. Your system tracks more sensory and micro data simultaneously. You have a wide aperture relative to other people. You're circulating a large informational current. It's not magic or mystery, but you are really walking around quite bright if you could see yourself in light. Other people feel you as vitality or coherence. In a group field, this coherence literally stabilizes other people's oscillations. You do become the group battery. You know how the village shaman used to have their own kind of place, far away from everybody else? You actually do need to recharge, and you need to be with yourself so that your electromagnetic field can
And again, these people are in charge with all of these facilities and tell you to go to the expert. You think something is wrong with your child or something was wrong with you while growing up. They knew exactly what's going on. These facilities, these experts, they're wardens. They're here to keep you in the prison of the norm. So all of these tactics that they use is just to make sure that you don't escape the prison. And these wardens, they're so special now. You even sign up and study to become a warden without you don't even know. Just to make sure that the system progress.
balance after doing this work. Now, there's another aspect to being that way that you'll probably have noticed a lot in your life. Incoherence seeks stabilization. This dark energy, this narcissistic energy that preys on neurodivergent people isn't darkness. It's not evil. It's incoherence. Incoherence floats itself over to the most stabilizing node. And if you're very coherent and have a very large bandwidth, you have a massive amount of tolerance and ability to stabilize incoherence. Of course, that comes with a cost, and if you stick around that incoherence for long enough, attempting to stabilize it, your body will get sick, your mind will get sick, you'll get burnout, you'll have no energy to do anything, and all of your magic will be completely flattened. Your nervous system will stabilize others immediately without your consent, just because it is a high coherence baseline. It's not really a choice. You need to be extremely discerning and have an extreme filter on what you allow around you. That energy that you're carrying, all of that bandwidth, all of that information.
Energy vampires as well. Be careful of energy vampires. You're vibrating at a specific frequency, and they know that. And these people will come and they will drain everything out of you. And now you're going to have to be there on TikTok, on YouTube, looking for videos to say, I'm doing mantras saying I have to call my energy back. Be discerning how you spend your energy.
Is actually yours. It's meant to be used by you and synthesized by you. It's not meant to be given away. You're meant to do something with it. You're meant to like actually increase it and expand it and feel it maximum. Many people spend their entire lives stabilizing other people and never getting to expand into their real potential. A lot of neurodivergent people get married to these types of energies that will use your entire bandwidth to stabilize themselves. This darkness is just information deficit. These people have lost their self-referential loop. They require external feedback in order to remain real. They don't have an internal sense of self, and they're borrowing
An external feedback just to get a sense of feeling real. The ego. They move in the ego rather than moving in the intuition. We've talked about this a million and one times. When you move in the ego, you need the external validation. You need someone to say, yo, that looks good. Yes, all of that. You need that pat on the back. Yeah, we like a little encouragement here and there, but that should not be a fuel source. It should be coming from within. Dig deep within. Dig for that well. Dig for that reservoir. Find that oasis.
yours, but that will be corrupted as they've done no internal work. So eventually, it will appear like a parasite and you will be drained. You'll get no returned feedback at all. And because you're so powerful, you really don't know what is on the other side of that. If you actually weren't spending all of your energy, if most people spend their energy maintaining their form. You're not only doing that, you're also maintaining other people's form. So imagine if all of that capability was unleashed back to you. Discernment is field hygiene.
Yes, my authentics. Stay true to yourself.